time to go racing in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're here at Richmond for the Target 300s, the Target weekend here at the Richmond Raceway. On the pole is the 2 of Colton Yost, teammate 2's outside the 21, Danny Lloyd, your points leader, but only by 3 slim points. Then third you have Jonathan Wong, 4th is Trey Rainey, and Johnny Gardner rounds out our top 5. Then 6th you have Eli Bright, 7th is Jeff Bright, he basically owns this place. Stephen Baker in 8th, 9th you have Justin Knight, and Andrew Miller rounds out the top 10. The rest of the field with Jonathan Buford and Adam McDowell. Then there's Anthony Lehman and Greg Lee, Diego Yepez and Carson Bowers. They have Luke Gray, last race winner, and Riley Spraley. Then there's Clayton Thomas and Jake Galloway, Michael Canto and Joey Trickle. Code Luigi with that Target sponsorship wanting to win this Target race in the Target Series with William Bowen in the 74. They have Gustavo Rocha and Steve Larker, Jennifer Buford, and William Seaman. He's second in points, only 3 points back. They have Lawrence Palapon and Marshall Burrow, Landon Lyons and Alexander Rowe. Then there's Alex Stewart, Isaac Nichols, Michael Sanders, and Charles Robert. Then Matt Hamill and TJ Hanley, Sebastian Kukulon and Bill Seaman. And in the final row, Jay Jefferson with Max Harrison to his outside. That's your starting lineup here for this night race at Richmond. Let's get going. Let's get our starting command.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
All right, boys, pace and rhythm all day today. Driver's compartment, crew chief, pit crew. Pace and rhythm all day, that's all we need.
And our field 42 cars rolls off the starting grid here at Richmond. We're back to short track racing in the Target Series. It's going to be an interesting race. Pace cars in, 45 laps. Who gets back around? It's been wild here at Target in the past. We'll see who wins tonight. Green flag is in the air. We're racing. Your pole steer, Colton Yo, clears and pulls away, gaps the field to lead lap 1. The outside's not the place to be, so if you're on the outside, you're going to start fading back, and that's what happening to Danny Lloyd. Started second, base back already to 4th, back to 5th as Jeff Bright and some of the others that started on the inside moving their way up. Down the backstretch of the race, 3 cars pull away. Wong onto the back of Colton Yo, looking to his inside 3 and 4. He gets a nose down there, side by side to the stripe. Yo leads another one, but Wong is to his inside. He has that position down low. You're going to be on the inside as they come down into the turn. Jonathan Wong now out front here in the Target 300. Johnny Gardner in the A9 coming hard. To the inside, Yo he goes in turn number 3. And Johnny Gardner moves himself up inside the top 2. The A9 to position number 2. And here comes Jeff Bright. He's going for a top 3 spot. He's going for 3rd in that number 1 car. Eventually, he's basically owned this track. He's won here so many times during his career. He swept the Richmond races back in season number 2 of the Target Series. Now down the backstretch, Gardner looking on Wong as Colton Yo continues to fall back on the outside lane. Back to 4th. McDowell tried to go for 5th, but that 2 has the position right there for 4th. As the front 5 really have stabilized. Jeff Bright has a run on to Gardner right here as Yo goes up the track and comes McDowell to the bottom lane. Lloyd has found his way down low in the 21. He's going underneath Greg Lee, it looks like for 6th. Back there, some 3 wide. Riley Spraley to a big move. Lloyd does get by Lee. McDowell gets by Yo. As 4 seconds. Jeff Bright in the 1. Clears. Gardner up the track. Now he's going for the race lead. The 1 car. Inside Wong. Sideways. Down the backstretch. Off into turn number 3. Jeff Bright. The bottom lane. McDowell for 3rd behind in the 16. Jeff Bright inches ahead. He'll lead the lap. So Jeff Bright in the 1 is now out front. Junior Motorsports had 3 cars starting inside the top 10 here tonight. Jeff Bright. Eli Bright. And Justin Knight. Right now they have 1 lead, though. Jeff Bright has gapped the field as he pulls away from Wong. Gardner back for 3rd on Adam McDowell. Colton Yo rebounds to 5th. Greg Lee up to 6th. Danny Lloyd back to 8th. He's going for 7th now. There's Justin Knight, the other Junior Motorsports car we mentioned, in 9th. Stephen Baker rounds out the top 10. Just outside the top 10, there's Andrew Miller. There's Yepez, Buford, Galloway, Larker, and all the other cars. There's Eli Bright, who said he's starting inside the top 10, but he's falling back in the outside lane. Could fall back outside the top 20. See some cars back here, trying to battle back to the inside. There's Luke Gray, last race winner, currently scoring back in the 30s, back half of the field. Looking for a second of points, but I believe. Oh no, there is Seaman right there. Oh, back of the pack in the 40s and late 30s. Contact, and around goes the 07 into the inside wall for the 07. Oh, back up the track. Alexander Rowe made contact with Seaman. Oh, Jay Jefferson to the wall with the 99 Max Anderson. Back at the back four have all had issues and some hard damage to all four of those cars. Now back up front, Wong has just gone by Jeff Bright to get back to the lead. The back four cars are already back there, and they keep adding insult to injury. They keep wrecking themselves back there. No cautions are coming out. Now Wong has put a gap on the field. Your points leader, Lloyd, sails into the 4th position ahead of Colton Yo. Your pole steer falling back on the outside lane of the number 2 car. Justin Knight moves around the 9. Up front, Gardner for 2nd on the 1 of Jeff Bright. Bright really overdrove the corner. Gardner to the inside, gets the quarter panel down there. McDowell for 4th on your points leader, Danny Lloyd. And Johnny Gardner clears easily as they come down the backstretch. Has run to the 48 now. 5 cars pull away for 6 at the battle. Andrew Miller to the inside, Stephen Baker. Justin Knight there in the 9, looking as the 52 slides off the track. He could have taken it 3 wide, but he's just going to wait here and get 2 for 1. Colton Yo behind that 9 car, pushing him forward. Battle for 6, just outside the top 5, who have really pulled away from the pack. It's up front. Gardner stalking the 48 of Wong. Looking for any little mistake that 48 makes to try and get a move. Here he comes to the inside. Some contact for the race lead. And no contact for 2nd. The 89 kill off the 48, got into the 1. They keep every car going straight. The 89 trying to drive there into the 48. Wong up the racetrack big time. Johnny Gardner gets behind the 89. Jeff Bright for 2nd. It's some pretty hard racing right here. This is short track racing at its finest in the Target Series. And the yellow flag is out. Back to the stripe. Gardner by a nose. Leads us back to the caution, and in 1 and 2, Sanders is done. Seaman, Bill Seaman, Anthony Lehman, all with damage. And our first yellow flag of the day. Caution out, lap number 15. For a wreck, looked like in maybe 1 and 2. So will these guys have to come down pit road, is the question. Looks like they might be staying out at the racetrack. Yep, they stay out. So field should be same positions as they are, but let's see what happens right after caution. Michael Sanders is done for the night. This really just took a while to get going. Bill Seaman is up top 3 wide. Anthony Lehman is in the middle and down low to Alex Stewart. 398 makes some contact there. 3 goes down, gets to the 46 right here. They start spinning. They go into the grass, both of them do. They keep their foots in it. And right here, they get up onto the pavement. The 3 does at least. The 46 then back up onto the pavement. And right here, trying to make the corner of the 3 of Lehman is he just kind of slides up and maybe some retaliation on the 98 Bill Seaman. Back there, you see the 46 does a great job keeping off the 25. And the 42 of called Luigi makes some contact there, but keeps going straight. And then Sanders has nowhere to go in the 11 and just gets damaged right there. So that was a interesting crash right there to bring out caution number 1. I'm really surprised they made it as long as they did. Richmond usually a track where they can wad some cars up in a short amount of time, but right here took them about 14, 15 laps to have that happen. Just some hard contacts right there. So Luigi does not have the season he wants. He does get some side damage here, but I believe he should be fine. We'll go on board the 42 car, the Target 300, the Target Series with the Target sponsor car. Yeah, Luigi should be fine. That's just some short track racing right there. That could be some short track damage, but I definitely think that 3 intended to take out the 98. I just think he was mad over what had happened and kind of repaid the favor right there. And Seaman doing a great job getting by. He's only 3 points out of the points lead, but dangling up inside the top 5, not helping the double zeros cause at all. Back in front, Gardner by literally a nose. Hilly is back to the green flag over the 1 of Jeff Bright. Coming to take the green flag on lap number 20, Johnny Gardner is out front. Michael Sanders is the only car out from that crash. The 398 came down Perro to get some repairs. They're currently scored 41st and 40th. As Johnny Gardner released to the green flag, with 2nd Jeff Bright, Jonathan Wong 3rd, and McDowell 4th. Points leader Danny Lloyd 5th. Your pole steer Colton Yo restarts 6th. Into the restart zone, lap number 20, 26 laps to go. Gardner with a huge jump gets away from Jeff Bright and the rest of the field, but we've seen many times in the past, in 1 and 2, they do go up the racetrack. The leaders do. Right there, he does go up the track, but the 1 as well. Wong from 3rd, side by side with Gardner into turn number 3. Big move for the 48 car. Gardner went at the racetrack. Jonathan Wong clears easily. He's your new race leader. McDowell coming for 2nd in the 16. Dominated Daytona, trying to get a win now on the short track. Yeah, that big 2.5 mile track in Daytona, restrictor plate racing. Now you come here to the short track in Virginia. You're battling for the race lead. Just shows how these drivers can just perform any test that they have put in front of them. Super speedway, short track, diversity of these drivers, insane. So these front 2 stalking each other just a little bit. McDowell right onto the back of Wong. Looking to the inside, down the backstretch. Can he keep a nose down there into turn number 3? He couldn't. Lloyd goes up the racetrack, and he's battling with teammate Colton Yo. Those are the two that started on the front row. They're right now 3rd and 4th. Yo going to take 3rd from Lloyd. And McDowell still looking for that 48, maybe push up the track a little bit. Right here, 1-2 is a shot. McDowell to the inside, Wong. Off of 2 and down the backstretch, 16 car. Out front, and he clears easily. But Wong trying to cross over. I think he has a chance right here off of 4. Tight, has to let off. Yo with a run in the 2. His teammate behind Danny Lloyd pushing him. And up front, 4 cars are under a blanket. Yo side by side with McDowell. Look at Lloyd hugging that yellow line. Contact for 3rd. McDowell and Wong. As Yo, your pole sitter, is now out front. And Lloyd up the track. Here comes Wong back to the bottom for 2nd. Intense racing. Jonathan Wong now up to 2nd. As Colton Yo leads, your pole sitter is out front. 21 way up the track of Danny Lloyd. He falls back to 4th. As McDowell gets by, Stephen Baker finds himself inside the top 5. Gardner back to 6th. There's Miller in 7th, 9th, and 8th. Galloway's 9th, and Yepes now up inside the top 10. As Jeff Bright, from the 2nd restart position, has fallen back to now outside the top 10, 12th. And he's still falling back. Guy who restarted this race in front, Johnny Gardner, fell back to 6th, but he's still with a shot right here. Look at Wong again on Colton Yo. Side by side, 19 laps to go this time. Wong leads. That could be a finish that we see here later in the race. We've seen it so many times at Richmond how they come side by side off of turn number 4. That could be the finish of the race. Colton Yo got a great run off that top side, 1 and 2. Now through 3 and 4, a little bit of a lower lane. 48 trying to block that run off, and Colton Yo gets back by for the race lead. These guys exchanging the lead, and here comes Adam McDowell in 3rd. He got a run with those two being side by side. Colton Yo out front. McDowell to 2nd. For 4th, Stephen Baker and Danny Lloyd. Baker to the inside. Colton Yo clears easily. Adam McDowell clears easily. Wong back to 3rd. Baker to 4th. Lloyd back to 5th. 4 of the top 5 are Chevrolets. The only one right now is a Ford of Adam McDowell, and he's right now side by side for the race lead. And McDowell back out front. 3 cars trading this lead back and forth. One lap, the 16 will have it. The next one, the 48 will have it. Next one, the 2 will have it. Now off into turn 1, does that 48 have a run? 16 McDowell keeps it down low. Pretty nice right there. But Wong does get a better run down the backstretch. Off into turn number 3. See the gap right there. 60 up the racetrack. Wong to the inside. Off of 4, side by side to the stripe. McDowell leads the lap. Wong, side by side to turn 1. 15 laps of racing to go in the target 300. Jonathan Wong clears. McDowell falls back. Colton Yo 3rd. For 4th, Andrew Miller mounting a charge inside the top 5. Slides that 20 off the track. Some contact for 4th. Almost into the wall. Miller using all of the racetrack up to get by Lloyd, and even using that side of the 21 up. Andrew Miller up inside the top 5. Gardner for a top 5. Baker is back in the 23, and those few have pulled away. The 7 cars pull away. Lyons in 8th, all in a land of his own. Jonathan Beefer is 9th, and Yepes rounds out the top 10. Still battles to be had at the front of the field. Wong has definitely pulled a gap. Miller now to 3rd in the 52 car. Has to maybe save some tires. Try and run down these front few. He's up to 3rd. He has 2 cars left. He has to get by McDowell here because Wong has really pulled a gap. They have the 48 blowing up again! Our race leader with an issue. Wong onto the grass! And for another time this season, the race leader has blown an engine. Much like how Colton Yo, the issue, while leading in the Geico 400 in the Gatorade Cup Series. Now that hands the lead to Adam McDowell, who was 2nd. 11 to go. McDowell's to negotiate around the 3. He gets by Lehman. With that damage, the 3 obviously slower. Miller has closed in the 52. He's 2nd now. Gardner's up to 3rd. Lloyd getting trapped behind his teammate in the 3. 2-horse race at the front as of now. We're coming to see 10 laps to go in the target 300. McDowell leads. Miller in 2nd. Gardner and Baker side by side, 3rd and 4th. Colton Yo rounds out the top 5. Lloyd is 6th. Buford 7th. Yepes 8th. Lyons 9th. And I think Jeff Bright was 10th. But it's the battle at the front that matters. 9 laps to go. McDowell and Andrew Miller are going to sell this among themselves unless third on back can get a draft up onto these front two. And if these front two make some contact, definitely watch for Baker and Yo and maybe some of the others to try and close in. See if we have an issue on the 48 quite yet. Clutch on Wong. That is heartbreak. Once again, the leader of a race in the series blows it with some mechanical issue under the hood. And they're not going to be able to finish the race. We've got 7 laps to go. McDowell's doing a great job holding the lead because Miller keeps lining up the track as well. That 52 needs to find a way around the 16 as a run this time. 7 laps left in the target 300. Who gets back with the lead? Miller to the inside. McDowell side by side down the back. This could allow the 23, the 2, and the 21 to close in. Off into 3. Miller's clear up. Andrew Miller out front now. 6 to go. McDowell's second now. 4 third. Yo and Baker are side by side. They've caught these front 2. Now 5 cars with a shot. 2 of which start in the front row. 5 to go this time by. It's a big lap. We keep mentioning how big that lap is. Look at Miller hugging that bottom line, making sure he's playing defense right here. 5 laps to go. If the yellow comes out, the race is over. Miller up the track. McDowell to the inside off of 2. Side by side down the backstretch again. 3 cars under a blanket. Yo comes into the mix in the 2 car. Miller up the track. Fades back to second. Yellow's out! McDowell's coming back in front! They wrecked in turn number 3. The big one. The 42 has hit the wall opening of the pits. The 00 second of points is involved. And that is it. Yellow out. It's over. 4 to go. McDowell has just won again in the Target Series. As long as he can make it around. Granted that, we've seen all the drivers have issues from the race league. We just have to make sure McDowell makes it around. But that was obviously a big crash in 3 and 4. They had to throw the yellow. There's Hanley. He's done. Jay Jefferson, Seaman, both of them in damage. Code Luigi's all torn up. Max Anderson, Alexander Rowe, Nichols, Lehman was in it. Luke Rainey has some side damage. Wild ending. We'll see how it happened. I think I saw the 3 in it, so he may have been involved. He was a lap car. Here they are racing around the 3 of Anthony Lehman, who's obviously slow. Jeff Beeford, Lehman's teammate, tries to get to the inside right here. And just a little too hard into the gas, gets into the 3, then gets down to the 22 and spins the 22 up into the wall. Right there, Luke Rainey goes around, then the 62 comes back down across the track, hits the inside wall, but keeps it going straight. Then the 22 sideways on the track gets hit by William Seaman. And here come the rest of the cars into it. The 42, the 07, there's the 99, there's the 00, Jake Jefferson into it. Jefferson pile drives, and then here comes the 42, it's the pit wall. There's TJ Hanley, Nichols. Not the pit wall, that's just the inside wall. There comes Hamill into it, hitting the 44 hard. Big crash down the backstretch and into turn 3. It's getting some drivers' days, especially Code Luigi. He hit that inside wall where it opens. I don't know how hard he hit it. I think he was pretty much slowed down by the time he hit, but it's still a hard impact. That's concrete. There's the hit the 44 at the end there. And it works out for Adam McDowell. The yellow came out. I saw the sign there. Turn to caution as they were racing towards the start-finish line. McDowell back in front. He has to make it 1.5 more laps, and he'll have a victory here at Richmond. We'll come back at the white flag. Well, here it is. 3 and 4 for Adam McDowell. He won at Daytona this season. Dominated that race. Now he comes to Richmond, and he gets one here in the Commonwealth. Adam McDowell's going to win it. Danny Lloyd, your points leader, is going to get 4th. And he may be able to hang on to that points lead. So checker flag. Adam McDowell, once again back to victory lane in the Target Series. He wins the Target 300. And the field coming across. Let's now go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Target 300 at Richmond. There were 2 caution flags for 9 laps, and 14 lead changed among 6 different drivers. Adam McDowell leading 14 laps in this race to get to victory lane. Andrew Miller close once again. He ends up second. He moves up to second in the points. Colton Urier, your pole sitter, leads 6 laps en route to a 3rd place finish. Danny Lloyd, your points leader, did not lead a lap. However, with this 4th place finish, he extends the points lead up to about 80-some points, and Stephen Baker rounds out the top 5. They have Jonathan Beefer in 6th, Johnny Gardner 7th, Landlines in 8th, Jeff Bright 9th, and Carson Bowers rounds out the top 10. There's your top 20. See how really, it always seems like Richmond is a place where you can get shuffled back easily, but if you have the track position, you can normally get down line easily. That's why you can see inside the no drivers really led laps outside the top 10. The only one that I can really think of would be Wong, who ended up with an issue on his car. 29 cars finished the race on the lead lap. Luigi, Bill Seaman, the others on down were involved in crashes. 35 cars finished the race running as the 07, the 7, the 00, the 8, the 44 out from that crash. The 48 with that clutch issue led the most laps, 15. McDowell led 14, so he was 1 lap short of that total. But Wong, tough break for him. He was pulled away with it, basically. I think he would have ended up winning the race if he didn't have that issue. But that issue relegates him to a 41st place finish. That is some tough luck right there. Michael Sanders out from that first crash, only complete 13 laps. Now let's go see how the points stack up. 10 races down in the Target Series season number 6, and here are the point standings. Danny Lloyd extends his points up to 84 points over Andrew Miller, who is second. Greg Lee is third. Gustavo Rocha is fourth, and William Seaman down to fifth, but still in a chase spot. They have landlines in sixth, Jonathan Beeford seventh, Lawrence Palapon eighth, Sebastian Cook on ninth, and Luke Rainey holds the final top 10 spot, 10th, 55 points out of Adam McDowell. So there's your top 20. Your 2 wild cards currently are Adam McDowell with those 2 victories. That would definitely get him one even if he was down 20th and everyone else had a win above him. Those 2 wins would rule over 1 win, and then another wild card, Alex Stewart, who's 12th in points with a win. So those are right now your only 2 winners outside the top 10, inside the top 20. 21st to 4th. Winner down here, Jake Galloway needs to get up inside the top 20. Matt Hamill needs to get up there. Isaac Nichols has been on a downfall ever since his win, down to 37th. He needs to find a way to get up there. And the rest of these drivers. So we head road racing next. We go to Road America in Wisconsin for the Speedco 200. I'll see you guys then.